This is Michael Orrell of MobileBurn.com, and I have in my hands the new Samsung SGH T929 Memoir for T-Mobile USA. This is an 8 megapixel camera phone with a autofocus lens and a real xenon flash. A lot of advanced features like smile detection, things like that. You can see it has a very simple form factor. It's not all that attractive, but it is functional. I mean, it really does look like a camera when you take a look at it, on the back side at least. Big touchscreen display. It's a resistive type touchscreen, so it requires a little bit of pressure, but very little bit actually. So it works really well. You can see on the sides here we have a Samsung proprietary slot for power and headphones, and then there's also a micro SD card slot here. You can see there's a 1 gig card in there already. It's included in the retail packaging. Other features of the physical design include the little sensors up here that detect your face when you're on a call. I'll show you how that works later. Volume controls that also act as zooming controls in the web browser and photo viewer, and a lock button. And right here is the 2-stage camera shutter button. Down along the bottom we have call end and call send buttons and a dedicated back key. You can see there's a faux leather plastic finish down on the bottom. A matte finish on the back. It's not really a soft grip or anything like that, it's just matte finish. Nice looking metal on the edges of the device. So, I mean, it's not an ugly device, so it's not exactly all that sexy either. So, we power on the Memoir by briefly pressing the lock button here. The auto locking functionality can be disabled if you like. You can see over here we have a widget bar. It's scrollable, and you can activate things directly from the widget bar, like you just saw there, just by clicking on them, or you can drag them onto the desktop. So we'll grab the date and time, move it up here. And one of the problems I have with this whole system is that once you have everything placed the way you like, they're too easily moved around by accident. I do like the fact that you can activate them directly from the widget bar, though, which is kind of nice, because some of them aren't really practical as widgets on the desktop, but it is a handy way to get to certain features of the phone. Along the bottom, you'll see the 4 main buttons. There's the phone, phone book, web browser, and then the main menu. The main menu has some simple animations on it. The scrolling's a little rough. It's a little hard to visually track. It kind of jumps around a bit on you. There is haptic feedback whenever you press on the display, and even when you're scrolling, it vibrates a couple of times too as you're scrolling to indicate that you're moving along. I guess the frame rate on the animation is just a bit low, so it's just too hard to see. It seems like it skips around too much. But otherwise, the scrolling works pretty decently. When you're in things like the phone book here, grab this tab and quickly move around. It'll save you a lot of time versus trying to massively scroll through everything, which is not something you can really control all that well. You can always search for contacts though, which works out pretty well. So we'll look for DOE for John Doe. You can see this is the record for John Doe. One of the things I really like, though, is you'll notice that there are different buttons up here for automatically contacting or sending a message to somebody. So you can see I have a phone number for John Doe. There are certain addresses in here in the phone book that don't have a phone number, so you might only see an email address. But anyway, if I click on that button there, it automatically dials John Doe. If we go back to the widget screen, you can notice this little tab here. When you click on that, that makes the widget bar appear and disappear. One of my favorite widgets is the weather widget. You can see you can look at current conditions based on your zip code or see the 3-day forecast, which is kind of cool. I'm going to show you how the face sensor works on the device here. It's these little things up here. When you're dialed into a call, we'll just pick a fake number and dial it. Throw the speaker on here. Whenever your face comes up to the sensors, automatically disables the display, so as you can't be
The service you
touching
are
anything
attempting to
inadvertently.
use has been restricted or is unavailable. Please
Hit the
contact...
red button end to call. You can see it doesn't do that when you're outside of a phone call. It's only when you're actively in the middle of a call.